Hello and welcome to another edition of the Matt Z WWE show. This is going to be my review of Raw for the 25th February 2013. Please leave a like and a comment below and subscribe for more videos. Let's get started. To open off the show, we get Vince McMahon vs Paul Heyman, and as many people, including myself, had predicted, we get Brock Lesnar and Triple H returning tonight to set up their feud leading into WrestleMania. They have a fight. Brock Lesnar gets busted open. First time we've seen that in a while. A lot of blood coming down his face. So I don't know whether he bladed himself funny or something, but loads of blood coming down his face. We get Triple H winning the fight, the mini fight they have, and Brock Lesnar, as he's walking down the back of the ramp, smiling as if to say there's going to be a whole lot more fights coming from these two guys. That's what my take on it is anyway. We got Ryback versus Dolph Ziggler, and yet again, predictably, Dolph Ziggler loses, even with the help of AJ, even with the help of Biggie Langston. I've never seen a Money in the Bank winner get de-pushed. It's not making sense to me. This Money in the Bank thing, it's not making sense to me. Dolph Ziggler's basically getting buried. He's not getting buried, don't get me wrong, he's not been in squash matches, but he's not exactly looked impressive, and to think this guy's going to be world champion, he's going to be world heavyweight champion, it's not, I don't understand what they're trying to do with him. That's what I'm trying to say. I've read somewhere that they're doing this so it's going to be more of a shock when he wins it, and I appreciate that, but it's going to feel weird that this guy, I'm not going to feel in any matches this guy is a favourite, Dolph Ziggler, anymore. He's an underdog in every match he's in. Literally every match he is in, he is an underdog. He lost to Kane, he lost to Henry, he's obviously lost to Cena about 8 times. I mean, the guy gets buried. But anyway, moving on, CM Punk promo, good CM Punk promo, saying the show's all about him tonight, building up basically to his match with John Cena later in the night. We get Mark Henry defeating the Great Khali. Nothing more to say about this really. World's Strongest Slam wins the match. We then get Miz TV, where we get a mini shock in my opinion. We get Jack Swagger, Zeb Colter, Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo. You may ask me, what's the shock? Well, the shock is WWE still pushing Jack Swagger. Forget about the DUI incident. They're still pushing him onto WrestleMania. What they do with him after WrestleMania is questionable, but until then, he will be leading into WrestleMania. He will be the man that's going to face Del Rio. They're not going to push anyone else into that position. So, that's cool. We get Zeb Colter talking about how him and Jack Swagger are real Americans. We get Del Rio, countering the argument, talking about Mexico, how, this is what we want to see from this. This is a feud that people want to see. It's an edgy feud. It's a feud that could even culminate in people cheering for Jack Swagger, even with him being the heel. A lot of Americans may be cheering for Jack Swagger because they may think, well, this guy's a real American. But, we get Randy Orton beating Antonio Cesaro, RKO out of nowhere, when Cesaro jumps off the top rope. We get Sheamus mocking Wade Barrett and reviewing the Oscar, basically just mocking Wade Barrett's new movie, his role in his new movie, Dead Man, something, I can't remember the name of it to be perfectly honest. We then get R-Truth predictably beating Cody Rhodes. Sandow comes to attack Truth and gets beaten up as well. So are Rhodes Scholars together? I don't know what's going on here. I thought they broke up, but I guess they're together still, but they just keep getting buried every week, so I don't really know what's going on here. We then get, basically earlier in the night, Brad Maddox and Vicky Guerrero, nicknamed Bricky, I think that's what it was nicknamed, which I found quite funny, I must admit, saying that because Kane said he could beat primetime players with his hands tied behind his back, and Brian says he could do it with his eyes closed. So they Team Hell No basically fight them handicapped. Basically, Brian has to put a blindfold on. Kane has to tie one arm behind his back. They still win with a choke slam. So primetime players look extremely weak. They can't even beat a guy that can't see and a guy with his arm behind his back. So not what you'd call a favourable push. We then got the Shield interview. They talked about how they solved the John Cena problem, how strong they are, how no one can take them out, how they are the big team around here, which they've proven they are, I guess. We then get Sheamus coming out, calling them out, on the ramp. So basically, Reigns and Ambrose go up to the ramp to try and attack him, and then from behind, Randy Orton comes into the ring and RKO's Seth Rollins. He runs away. Sheamus walks away. So this leading into a feud. It's going to be the Shield versus Orton, Sheamus and one other person, probably Ryback, and it's WrestleMania. I do expect the babyface team to win there because, let's face it, guys, I'm a big Shield fan, but they have to lose eventually. They cut that. What I said leading to Elimination Chamber, I said they have to stay undefeated till WrestleMania to make the WrestleMania match a good match. I said that, and I stand by that. But even as a fan, I realise they're going to have to lose at some point, and WrestleMania is a good chance for the babyfaces to win, in my opinion. Even being a Shield fan, I think Ryback especially needs a win. He needs to stop getting buried if they want to push him on to be a star, which I believe they do with the Feed Me More chance, etc. We then get Jack Swagger beating The Miz with the ankle lock or the Patriot lock, whatever you want to call the damn thing. We then get John Cena versus CM Punk in what even the Cena haters... I'm not a Cena hater, I'm not a Cena fan either, to be honest. I find him boring in a lot of stages, but this match was great. This was a great match. I don't care what anyone says. This was a great match to end the show. We got John Cena versus CM Punk. Yes, it was predictable that John Cena won, but that's not the point, guys. If you go through things saying, oh, well, it's predictable John Cena's going to win, you've got to appreciate it's a good match. You've got to watch the match, and it was a good match. CM Punk definitely brings out the best in John Cena. These two have great chemistry in the ring. It's a shame that they're often kept apart in WWE because, you know, WWE doesn't want to make either of them look weak. But to build Cena up for his match with The Rock at WrestleMania, which we now know we will have because this match was to determine who would face The Rock at WrestleMania. Cena beats Punk. We get Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania. Now, the only interesting thing in this match was that Taker didn't return. I did predict Taker would return. He still will return, guys. Don't get me wrong. He's still going to return. I'm even more sure he's going to return now because you've got Triple H is definitely going to face Brock Lesnar now, in my opinion. John Cena's definitely going to face The Rock. That's a fact now. So, where's that leave CM Punk? Well, I'll tell you where it leaves him. It leaves him versus The Undertaker, and there's literally no other slot. If you can tell me one other match that CM Punk can have at WrestleMania, now that we know the other two matches, I'd like to hear it, because there literally is no other match at this point for CM Punk. So, going back to the match, they trade finishes on numerous occasions. Punk hits the GTS for a false finish. Cena hits an attitude adjustment for a false finish. There's numerous STFs, Anaconda Vices locked in, but eventually we get Cena hitting first a Hurricane Rana, which, you know, you don't see that from John Cena every day, and then you get him hitting the AA again to pick up the win. I have no problems with this match. You've got to make John Cena look strong at some point leading into WrestleMania. The fact that he lost the Shield at Elimination Chamber, he had to win another big match going into WrestleMania. This was that big match. And it was a great way to round off Raw. And this episode of Raw, I really enjoyed it, you know. This is the most I've enjoyed an episode of Monday Night Raw in a while. I'm not sure if you guys agree. I'm not sure if I'm just in a great mood today. I don't know. But this, it just, you know, I just felt it. I felt connected to this Raw. And it was a great Raw. And we now have, in my opinion, 4 matches. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Well, I think we have 4 matches pretty much nailed on for WrestleMania now. We have The Rock versus Cena, that's the most obvious one. Triple H versus Lesnar, pretty much nailed on. Taker versus Punk, as I explained about a minute ago, is nailed on in my opinion. And also nailed on, we have The Shield versus Orton, Sheamus, and one other person. Also, interestingly, we got Sheamus mocking Barrett, so I guess they could go with Sheamus Barrett, but I really think they're going to go with, like I said, Sheamus Orton versus The Shield. Sheamus Orton Ryback versus The Shield. Barrett and Bo Dallas, that angle seems to have been dropped. Oh, and, a 5th match we can confirm. So actually there's 5 matches. Jack Swagger versus Del Rio will be happening now. So that DUI scare's gone away. You know, it's still going to happen. Because if they were going to do something, Jack Swagger wouldn't have been on TV this week. Or they would have manoeuvred it around this week. So there's my thoughts on this week's Raw. Overall, good 8 out of 10 for me. Very solid show. Really enjoyed. Probably an 8.5 out of 10. Leave me your thoughts below. Do you agree with me? Are you happy John Cena's going to WrestleMania? Are you mad CM Punk's not going to be facing The Rock at WrestleMania? Leave your comments, thoughts below. Leave a like, dislike based on whether you like the video. And please subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.